Today we're going to look at medical terms that end with the suffix itis. When you understand the basics of medical terminology, it's going to give you the confidence you need to define medical terms. When analyzing a term, you need to understand that words may be composed of roots, suffixes, and/or prefixes. So for this exercise, imagine you're in the workplace or you hear a television commercial or maybe you're just reading a magazine article and you're not really sure what the term means. So what you want to do is work backwards by breaking the term into word parts and then determine the definition of each word part. So for our first example, we will look at the term hepatitis. Let's break hepatitis into word parts. Hepatitis is composed of the combining form hepato and the suffix itis. I've designated an R for root for hepato and S for suffix for itis. So let's start by defining the suffix. When we analyze a term, we will begin at the suffix, and then we're going to work our way to beginning of the term, which may be a prefix or a root or combining form. So itis is the suffix, which means inflammation. Hepat is the root, meaning liver. So what do you think the term hepatitis means? It means inflammation of the liver. Do you think you can come up with a definition for the next term, arthritis, without looking at the answer? Now, you may already have an idea of what arthritis means because you have a family member that has arthritis or you suffer from arthritis. But let's take a look at the word parts for arthritis. Again, we're using the same suffix, itis. But now, the combining form in this case is arthro, meaning joint. I'm using combining form because I want you to see that if a suffix begins with a vowel, you don't need that to add that combining vowel, such as O, to join the root and the suffix. So arthritis means joint inflammation or inflammation of a joint. Now, there are many terms that end with the suffix itis that you'll see as you're studying or reading or come across here if you're in the workplace, such as appendicitis, which means inflammation of the appendix, blepharitis, inflammation of the eyelid, bursitis, inflammation of a bursa, cellulitis, inflammation of the dermis and subcutaneous layer of the skin, cholecystitis, inflammation of the gallbladder, diverticulitis, inflammation of diverticula, esophagitis, inflammation of the esophagus, encephalitis, inflammation of the brain, gastritis, inflammation of the stomach, gingivitis, inflammation of the gums, meningitis, inflammation of the meninges, nephritis, inflammation of the kidneys, pharyngitis, inflammation of the pharynx, rhinitis, nasal inflammation, esophagitis, inflammation of fallopian tubes, tonsillitis, inflammation of the tonsils, and vaginitis, inflammation of the vagina. Now, I want you to challenge yourself today and see how many new words you can define using the suffix itis. If you want more medical terminology help, you can visit my website, which is medicalterminologyforfun.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at MedTermsForFun, or you can look at my YouTube channel under INEPS, or Medical Terminology for Fun. Remember, learning does not have to be boring, so don't give up. You can do it.